5 consecutive world championships. Only one man in F1 history has ever done it, until now. Bernie Ecclestone just dropped a bombshell about Max Verstappen. What's up, guys? Formula One's 2025 season is about to kick off in Melbourne, and the hype is absolutely real. We're heading into the final year of the ground effect era, and former F1 boss Bernie Ecclestone has just made a prediction that has the entire motorsport world talking. Can Max Verstappen really match Michael Schumacher's record of 5 consecutive world championships? Or is the Red Bull dynasty finally crumbling under pressure from McLaren? By the end of this video, you'll know exactly why Bernie's prediction has sent shockwaves through the paddock. In this video, I'll reveal Bernie Ecclestone's stunning assessment of the 2025 championship battle, break down the surprising technical issues that plagued Red Bull last season, and expose the inside story of how McLaren has positioned themselves as title favorites. Plus, I've got exclusive analysis on why Verstappen himself is downplaying his chances. Why would Verstappen claim McLaren is clearly in front if Bernie is so confident he'll win? What happened to the dominant Red Bull car after Spain last year? And what secret weapon might Red Bull be developing to overcome their current disadvantage? Stay until the end, because I'll reveal why insiders believe Red Bull has been sandbagging during testing, and the real reason Verstappen is publicly lowering expectations before Melbourne. Let's dive into this fascinating story. Bernie Ecclestone, the man who transformed Formula One into the global powerhouse it is today, has just made a major prediction about the 2025 season. Despite all signs pointing to McLaren's dominance, Bernie believes Max Verstappen will secure his 5th consecutive world title this year. Think about what that means for a second. Only Michael Schumacher, arguably the greatest F1 driver of all time, has ever won 5 championships in a row. That came during Ferrari's golden era from 2000 to 2004. Now Verstappen stands on the precipice of joining this most exclusive club in motorsport. But here's where things get really interesting. Verstappen himself has been downplaying expectations, saying, and I quote, "I don't think we can fight for the win already in Melbourne." That's a shocking admission from the 4-time champion. On one side, we have Bernie confidently stating, "I still think Max will win. There's no reason why he shouldn't. If he's got the equipment, obviously there'd be no discussion about him." And on the other side, Max himself claiming McLaren is clearly in front. So what's really happening here? To understand this contradiction, we need to look back at what happened in 2024. Red Bull started the season in dominant form, continuing their incredible run from 2023 when they won all but one race. Verstappen seemed unstoppable, but everything changed after the Spanish Grand Prix. Something went fundamentally wrong with the RB20. The car that had been so dominant suddenly looked vulnerable, and both McLaren and Ferrari leapfrogged them in performance. This led to one of the most thrilling championship battles in recent memory. McLaren surged to their first constructors' title since 1998, and Lando Norris pushed Verstappen all the way to the final races. The era of Red Bull dominance appeared to be over. But is it really? Or is there more to this story than meets the eye? Let's dig deeper into what's happening behind the scenes at Red Bull. The current evidence doesn't look good for Red Bull. Not only is Verstappen downplaying his chances, but Mercedes driver George Russell has also weighed in, saying, "I don't think either of us right now have a car that potentially is capable of beating the McLaren." McLaren, without doubt, look by far the strongest. But here's what makes this situation so fascinating. We've seen this movie before. Remember when Mercedes would claim Ferrari was faster before dominating the season? Or when Red Bull themselves downplayed expectations only to crush the competition? The 2025 season marks the final year of the current ground effect regulations before a major reset next year. Teams are extracting the maximum from these cars after years of development. McLaren clearly made a breakthrough last year, but Red Bull has had months to analyze and respond. This is exactly why Bernie Ecclestone's words carry so much weight. As he told Reuters, if the car's up to it, he'll get the job done. Bernie isn't just some random pundit. He ran Formula One for decades and knows how to read between the lines of driver statements. So if McLaren appears to have the faster car, but Bernie still believes Max will win, what does he know that we don't? The answer might surprise you. Let's talk about Max Verstappen himself. At just 27 years old, he's already secured 4 world championships. His racecraft, aggression, and raw speed have redefined what we expect from a modern F1 driver. What makes Verstappen special isn't just his speed, it's his ability to extract performance from a car that isn't the fastest on the grid. Remember Brazil 2023? Or that incredible drive in the rain at Imola? Max has repeatedly shown he can win even when he doesn't have the best machinery. Lando Norris is incredibly talented, no doubt, but he doesn't yet have the championship experience that Verstappen brings to the table. The psychological game of fighting for a world title is completely different from racing for wins, and Max has mastered that mental battle. And here's where we get to the heart of Bernie's prediction. The former F1 boss understands that championships aren't just won with the fastest car, they're won through consistency, strategy, and performing under pressure. These are all areas where Verstappen excels. Now, here's the inside scoop I promise. According to my sources, Red Bull has been deliberately conservative during testing, running higher fuel loads and detuned engine modes to hide their true pace. This is a classic Red Bull strategy. Remember how they sandbagged throughout the 2022 preseason before dominating the championship? Verstappen's public downplaying of expectations is part of this strategy. By positioning McLaren as the favorites, he removes pressure from his team while placing it squarely on Lando Norris and McLaren. It's psychological warfare at its finest. So, can Max Verstappen really match Michael Schumacher's record of 5 consecutive championships? Based on Bernie Ecclestone's assessment and reading between the lines of the current situation, I believe he absolutely can. While McLaren may indeed have the fastest car right now, the combination of Verstappen's extraordinary talent, Red Bull's development capabilities, and the mental edge that comes with being a 4-time champion gives him a real shot at making history in 2025. If you want to understand exactly how McLaren has transformed their car into a potential championship winner and whether they can maintain this advantage throughout the season, check out my in-depth technical analysis right here. I break down the innovative suspension design that's got everyone in the paddock talking. Click now, the season starts next week, and you won't want to miss this crucial information.